All right, so we're gonna start this out with just simply unlocking it. So you can use your key fob here. That will unlock it. So right now it's already unlocked, but just locked it. Doors are locked. Now all the bay doors are unlocked right now. And get your refrigerator back here. Go ahead and shut that. So you can lock all of these by simply pressing this cargo unlock or lock button. And the receiver is somewhere up here, so you kind of have to be in that general vicinity. Now all of these doors will be locked. So if I go up to any one of them, locked. Now what I do like is you can also, I unlock it. You can also unlock all your bays and lock them with this, and Newmar always does this, with this button right here. So as you can hear now I can go up to any one of them and they will be unlocked. Very easy. Now these doors, these slide out trays, you just have to have this open and you press the button right here. Oh wait, you have to have the power on, of course. So that should be something I should show you. Now if you store the coach, you want to have this power switch off right here. You see that battery disconnect? Right now it's off. We'll turn it on. All your screens will come on. Wait a second, that'll say Newmar. And now you've got power. Now when you press this button, and that's all you do. These have 1,000-pound capacity, so you can put a good bit of weight on them. Now sometimes you gotta slam these doors pretty well because the seals protrude a good bit, and they want you to really shut them hard. So when they're shut, they're providing you with a nice tight seal. That is unlocking and locking it and turning the power on. Let's talk about the tanks and how to dump the tanks. So in the wet bay right here, pretty straightforward. Obviously up here you have like paper towels, you got an outdoor shower. This is a filter for your water system. You also have a water tap, which is really nice. You can plug a water hose in here if you want to wash your coach or you just want to get water out of your tank for some reason. Now, everything is labeled pretty well here, so I'm going to walk through this from the left to right. This is called a mana block, and what this allows you to do is if you have a leak in one specific area, exterior faucet, shower, blah, 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 you can take this little tool and shut the valve off for that area. This is just in case you have a plumbing leak. You can shut something down and still use the rest of the system. Now, this right here is where you'll connect to city pressure. So all this is, you just pull it out as far as you want, retract it, push that button. Now, what you'll do is when you go park this coach at a full hookup spot, if the spot has water, you'll unravel this, plug this into the tap, and then you'll come back here, and this is where it's at, city supply. What that will do is allow you to turn your water pump off and to use the pressurized water coming from the tap for all of your plumbing systems. So it won't go through the tank at all. This essentially is giving you water pressure to all your taps in the coach, your shower, toilet, everything in there, just directly to that city water connection you have at your camp spot. Now, if you want to change this valve and fill the tank, you can switch this valve right here. Auto override, right? Now, this will switch that valve and send the water that's coming in through this hose into your tank instead of going into your plumbing system, if that makes sense. Now, what you can also do, which I suggest doing because why not use the system, is put it in automatic mode. So when you plug this in, it should automatically go to city pressure. And if you want to fill your tank, you just click that button and it switches the valve for you. You see that button right there? So you leave this in that position, auto, and you connect the water. It'll automatically select city supply. So it won't fill your tank. It'll provide you with pressure so you can turn your pump off. And then if you ever want to fill the tank, you press fill and it'll automatically fill it up. You can also turn your pump on from here. You see that? That's a toggle switch. Press it once, turns it on. You hear it creating pressure. That's the pump right there. Press again, it turns off. Pretty straightforward. These are just drains. So if you want to drain some of your water system, you can certainly do that. Now right here is your RV SantaCon system, and that's what that box right there is. And you see the switches switch on, and of course you have a remote switch up here. Now, it's of great benefit to have this device, but I'm going to save that explanation for a little later or something, or not right now. Essentially what you're going to do is you're going to take this little guy right here, and remember, one time I forgot this, there is a cap on the end of that. You need to remove this cap and then plug it into the wherever your camp spot is. If it has a dump, then you plug it into your dump, or wherever you're dumping. You plug that in there, take that cap off, and then what you want to do is you always drain your black tank first. So what you want to do is open this valve, and you can tell this is black not only because the color of the valve is black, and you can tell that's gray not only because the color of the valve is gray, but also because notice how fat the black tank is and how skinny the gray is. Obviously you need a fat one for the black tank for obvious reasons, and then the gray tank is just water that comes off your sink and shower. So you always know the black is the fat tank, the fat pipe. So you always do your black first, and right now the holding tanks are totally empty, which is good. So all the no crap is coming free with the coach. It is free of crap. So what you do when you fill up your black tank, you open this valve after you've plugged this in, right? Then you press this button, RV SantaCon, with this valve open. This thing will macerate and grind it all up and send it through here and dump out your tank. Once your black tank is empty, you shut this valve, turn that switch off, maybe give it a break. I always like to give them a little bit of break. Then open this gray tank up and press the button again. And wait until that gray tank is empty. And that's it. That's all it takes to empty your tanks. Now, if you're sitting at a full hookup spot for a week or so, we always just leave the gray tank open, so then you can take an unlimited shower. You're never sitting there worried about how much water you're using. So you just leave your gray open. And before you leave the camp spot, just kind of fill up your gray tank so you can flush out the tube when you dump your black. Never leave your black tank wide open though. Now, the benefit of having that is normally it literally pumps things out, so you'll never end up with some sludge stuck in here. It pumps stuff out. It can be going uphill. It's a really nice system for that reason. Now you could take it off if you wanted to and just have a old school pipe, but this is just so much better. It's easier to use. You never smell anything. It's just, this is a high quality system. I definitely suggest keeping it. But they do break everything mechanical breaks. I hear people moan in the industry, oh, the RV SantaCon, it breaks. Yeah, guess what? Welcome to life. Anything man-made breaks, but when it's working, it's an excellent system. So that is about it on the wet bay. Oh, let me cover these two things. These two things this is your gray tank vents. They're pretty well explained. And black tank vents. And you just plug in a water hose there, and you can flush out your tanks if you want. It's good to do that once in a while. Really suggest doing it. But that's about it for here. There's a couple valves over here. You can mess with these things, and the good thing is they show you, but this is sort of how to winterize the coach, which I don't want to confuse you right now. We can definitely walk you through how to do that at some point, but right now, yeah, just let a professional do that for you if you're going to winterize it. You can do it yourself, but I would suggest learning how to operate the coach first. Don't overwhelm yourself. Now right here is your 50 amp power service. So when you want to go plug it into your shore power, like you set up at your house, I have a 50 amp cable right over there. You just reel it out. All you do is pull it out, plug it into power. That's it. Little green light will come on. Very, very simple. And you can plug it down in here. So then when you have it in there, you can close your door. So it looks all pretty. And then you press the button, reel the cord back in. You also have a surge guard, automatic transfer switch. Don't need to worry about that. I will say, if you're plugged into shore power and you start your generator, the coach will prefer generator power. So the switch will automatically transfer to sucking up power from the generator versus shore power. Now, here's something that's kind of specific, and it's important to do for your air conditioners. When you have your air conditioners on, do not shut power off to them immediately or while they're running. What you want to do is first shut off the air conditioners, let them sit a little bit in order to allow the head pressure to come out of the coach, out of the air conditioners, and then turn off the power. I'm in the coach now, and I'm going to walk through a few things here. So first off, I'm going to start with this panel. So this panel is the main control center for the bus, right above the driver's seat here. So you've got your touchscreen, and I'm going to go back home. So you'll initially see this screen right here, and this screen will show your fresh, gray, and black tank. Gray tank is water that comes out of your sink, your shower. Black tank is obviously sewer. Fresh is just fresh water. So here you can quickly go into your gen set. You can press autofill. So if you're plugged into fresh water, and I'll show you how to do that in the separate part of the video, but you can just click this button and it'll fill up your fresh tank for you. It's really nice. You can turn on your pump from here, auto gen, in here. We can go down here to AC power, and this is where you can change different settings for your inverter. You can also turn your inverter on. Now what your inverter will do is it will take power from your batteries. If you're not running your generator or plugged into shore power, it'll take that power from the batteries and turn it into 110, so you can run your TVs, you can run your refrigerator, your microwave, things like that. You can't run your air conditioners off that power. It doesn't make enough, but you can run all your outlets and everything like that. Now, here we can see DC power. You can see that the inverter is float charging your batteries. You can change settings with your chargers and all that. Genset, so there is a physical button down here to start the generator, and this button right here, you just click it up once, starts automatically. Now if it's really cold, you can press it down and hold it, and that will prime the generator if it's really cold outside. Now in here is where you can really set up your AGS and stuff. We'll talk more about that in a minute. The AGS is a system where anyways, we'll talk about that in a second. Really nice system. So here is your water. You can just look more at your tanks, I guess. Autofill, sort of redundancy here. Climate. Now, when you press climate, as you saw right there, it takes you to a different screen. So it shows your fans and your temperature, so you can decide what zone you want to operate. Living room, kitchen, bathroom, bedroom. And I just like leaving it on all because, you know, I like controlling all, but you can do individual if you want. Now, you can have different settings. So you have day, night, away. And you see that right there. It says night begin. So you can really have a lot of presets on the coach for it to automatically change the climate in here as the day goes on. Let's go back into home here. And the floor. So the floor is where you control the floor heat. It's 3-zone. You can control different. It goes up to like, I think 9 or something. So that's pretty nice. And then features. This is just some background stuff you can look into if you want. Not really much going on here. That's about it for the screen. And there's some more stuff there that I'm going to talk about, but that's going to kind of tie into the AGS system is a whole separate little clip on its own. So I don't want to get sidetracked just yet. But over here on the left, you've got security lights, so it's just got lighting all around the coach. This is where you control your slide outs. I mean, not your slide outs, your awnings. You control your slide outs down here. But you control your electric awnings here. All the awnings on the bus are electric. And down here, you control all your privacy drapes for the front of the bus. So if you push this button, front main privacy drape comes down. Obviously, they don't want these buttons down here. Now, you do have shade, so you see the power shade is down, and that control, or visor, whatever you want to call it, that control is right here. Just gotta find out. There's so many buttons, you gotta find out which one it is. It's obviously none of the ones I'm pressing. So when you first get in the coach to start it up, this is going to be especially true during the cold season. Not so true right now when it's kind of warmer. So essentially, you get in, you turn the ignition on. There'll be a wait to start right there. but this, see, it goes off really quick. You always want to wait for that weight to start to go away. What that is doing is these diesels don't have spark plugs. It has glow. They have glow plugs in there heating up the air in the cylinders, and they're electric. They come on, and if you try to crank with them on, you can burn them. So you don't want to. You want to wait until the weight to start. Don't just like turn the ignition on and fire it up like a car. Turn it on into, I think it's called whatever, accessory mode. You'll hear like click, click, click. I let those relays click or whatever the heck they are. Let it settle down, and then I fire it up. And there it is. And then it's always good. These things will take a long time to warm up because they have an incredible amount of oil in them. But I always drive them easy until I get some oil temperature readings. And you can get that through here. This thing will have an incredible amount of information on there. So you can see, let's go through it a little bit. Turbo PSI, I love being able to watch that. Engine temperature, this is a screen I would leave on personally if this was my coach. I always like watching this. Oil temp, you see it's stone cold, 58 degrees. It shows your oil pressure, transmission temperature, that's very important. Engine temperature, that's the water temperature of the engine. And then your turbo pressure, how much turbo pressure your turbo is providing. So that is a really good screen. I'd leave that up. But yeah, so this right here will adjust how much your comfort drive will kick in. So if you want it real easy to turn, you want that comfort drive all the way up, turn it all the way up, vice versa. Just play around with it, see what you like. I sort of like leaving it all the way up, but that's just me. Automatic traction control, you can turn that off. Now, skip the boring stuff, right? Important things right here. The Hadley is in standard ride right now. If you want to go drive, you click standard drive. You let that go, you let that sit there. Before you take off to drive, let your air pressures build up. Now, if you want to let your, and I'm sorry if I'm jumping around a lot, but there are simply so many things. Listen, Chris, you're gonna have this coach for about a year, and you're still gonna be like, wow, that's cool. I didn't know it did that. Trust me, I'm still learning things like that, and I get in a coach, I'm like, wow, I didn't know it did that. That's crazy. This thing will be showing you things and tricks years down the road. But this is something important. If you want to build up your pressure and engine temperature quicker, turn on cruise control, press set. And you see, look at that. RPM's just built up to fast idle. Fast idle just allows you to build air pressure quicker, warm the engine up quicker, all that good stuff. If you're just sitting there idle, you want to build your airbags up quick, press that. Now, standard ride stops flashing when it's ready to go. Air pressure has been built up. You hear that big, did you hear that? Psh? That's an indicator that the system is full of air. It can't take any more pressure. So then you can stop fast idle by just pressing cancel. Now, if you want to level the coach with your Hadley airbag system, what you're going to do is press SLS, let it set, then press set. Now the coach will level itself using only air pressure and air bags. I'm just going to go back into standard ride because I don't want it to level itself. We're about to take this to Reno's house. Now, if you want to level with the HWH, the jacks, the leveling jacks, you just press auto level, levels itself up automatically. It'll dump the airbags, all that good stuff. Now, if you want to level manually, you certainly can. You can just lift up the sides that are orange. Those are the sides of saying that need to be lifted up and adjusted. But travel mode will be indicated when these are stored. Little red lights will come on here in each corner for each jack, showing you which ones are down. So that's about it there. Now right here, you've got your tag dump. You can put it in auto if you want, so it'll start dumping itself. I think if you go into reverse, or if you get in a tight corner, you can go manual. So you can see if you click and hold that. What this does is lifts your tag axle up off the ground. So when you make a sharp turn, it won't drag that tag axle along the ground. It's not 100% necessary, but you know, if you want to protect your tag tire a little bit, if you're OCD like that, you certainly can. I do it because, you know, why not? But obviously at high speeds, you don't want to do it. It won't let you do it at high speeds. You can leave it in auto if you want. Right now it's just in disable, essentially manual mode. This is your engine brake. All the way down is in the center is off, low, high. I really can't explain the differences in the settings. You're just gonna have to drive it and figure it out. But high will bring you almost to a stop. You'll have to use your brakes at the very end. Low is just if you like coming downhill, you want to maintain a speed, you click it on low. Driver memory, blah, blah, blah. Now, battery boost, if you're a coach, or I mean, if your chassis batteries ever go dead or vice versa, you press this, it jumps the batteries, both battery sets. So you can jump your coach off with your coach batteries if you want. You've got auxiliary fans up here. Overhead fans. These are just for, it's you know, this is a big piece of glass. If it ever gets foggy, it's nice to not only have the vents from down below, but you have vents up top too. So, I mean, this is tricked out, man. He's got a lot of systems here. You can plug in USB. I'm not going to talk about all that because that's irrelevant stuff, really, to the main operation and theme of the coach. Okay, so these tabs to adjust the steering wheel. Tilt is this little tab. See that? Press the button. Tilts. I can't remember. Oh, this is like your pedals, I believe. This is telescopic, so you can come in and out with that top right tab. This is for your pedals, right? Okay, I honestly don't know what this is. I've never seen this tab before in a coach. So typically they have 3 tabs. They've got tilt, telescopic, and then for the pedals. This is something for you to find out. I don't know what that does. It may be doing lumbar. I really don't know what this does, to be honest, Chris. I've never seen a tab there before. There's something special that the coach does. I really don't know. That's something for you to find out. Like I said, we're still learning about these coaches, and this thing has so many features and gadgets and amazing things and tricks up its sleeve. It's gonna take you a while. This is a big toy. This is a big toy, buddy, but you got a nice one coming to you, all right? So, that is about it here in the cockpit. Let's go get that generator slide open like I said I was going to do a minute ago. Is there anything here? Yeah, you got step well lights. You can turn those on. You got some nice LEDs that light up the path here. One of the few coaches that has passenger side adjustments for the air conditioning, which I feel like they all should have, but this one, kind of, not many of them have that. Let's walk around here. Oh yeah, generator slide. So you have to have the coach running. I mean, you have to have the ignition on, but I would suggest having the coach running. This is a hydraulic slide, so you want to have power to it, a good bit of power. So when the whole face comes out, so you can quickly get to windshield wiper fluid, get your horns up here, and you have your generator, so you can manually start it. If you ever, for some reason, lose power from the generator, come out here, make sure this hasn't tripped. Check your coolant, all that stuff if you need to. A lot of access up here if you ever need to get to it. You just simply press this button over there. Oh, this is really nice. You see what this is? So if you need to emergency fill the coach, the suspension, and because how it works, yeah, key for the Porsche is in there. I got it, don't worry. Yeah, take off. What was I saying? Oh yeah, so the brakes, how they work, how the emergency brake works, when it's engaged, essentially you have to have air pressure to disengage that air brake. So if the coach...
Just cleaned that up, man.
Oh, you did? Wow, look at him, he's all proud. Wow, look at that, it's white, shiny white. But I'm explaining this. I'm explaining this right here. I know, that's in the plastic.
We normally use it for windshield.
But I was explaining this right here. This is really nice to have. If the engine ever shuts down, you need to disengage the brakes. They plug into that, so they pressurize the system. Oh. And then they can tow your coach.
Wow.
Yeah, it's nice to have that there.
Where's the air?
Like an air jack or? I don't know. It should have one somewhere. I'm just explaining. I'm showing him this slide right here. What he's talking about is auxiliary air, so you can fill up your tires and stuff. I'm gonna look around and see if it's got one. I think it should have one, and I'll show it to you. I probably talked about a video, man, but there's so many things.
They gotta shut it.
Oh, I was explaining. No, I was explaining because they do that because these seals are so thick.
That, or sometimes they get loose right here, all the mechanism. It's fine right now, but you just gotta shut it like you want to, and before you take off, go under each door. I just made.
Oh, yeah.
19 doors.
That's right.
Shut.
Oh, I always do that
all
too.
properly
You
shut.
always go make sure these are shut.
Go on the bottom and check.
Yeah.
Yep.
Make sure they're all shut. All right, he's gonna take off. By the way, quick thing, you can store an extra sewer pipe here if you want.
Show them the flute.
This right here is your DEF fluid, and
When it's low.
yeah, when it's low, it'll show you. It's got a meter. I'll show you the meter. But this is the door right behind your passenger side tag axle. There's a meter on the dash. That's it right there. And it'll last you a long time for one fill up. Long time. So I think that's about it on the coach.
Wow.
Actually, let me be honest. That's not about it. This thing has a lot of guidance. I told him he's gonna have a year or two into it. And you're still gonna be like, wow, I can't believe it does that.
We've been in the business 20 years and we learned.
I told him that I'm still calling my dad up if I find something. I'm like, man, it does this. It's crazy.
I call you.
Or you call me. Yeah.
I'm gone, man.
All right, peace. Hey, turn the air horn on. Turn it on. Oh my gosh, that is loud.
Getting out of South Carolina, going to California, baby.
Man, that is a really loud horn.
Hey, Claude, Tony's coming.
Oh yeah, you're good. You're good.
He's gonna have that little pre-flight checklist.
Oh yeah.
You know, all the hoses.
Yeah, you always want to have that right before you take off. Check everything. Check your hoses, your cords. You're not plugged in. Jacks aren't down. All that good stuff.
Watch what you turn on, boy.
That's right. That's a good-looking coach right there, man. That's a beautiful coach. Wow. No paint checking. It's beautiful.